Alrighty, I found camp. So I'm actually gonna camp right here. I'm gonna build my shelter using this tree here. My intent was to build a excuse me. My intent was to build an A-frame shelter. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I've only got the one tree here. I can't anywhere that the trees are close together. It's too steep. Too uneven, so I found a flat area here, bit of a bank in behind me here, so I'm going to use this tree right here. I'll get my post up on there and I'll come across and I'll have a tripod here built out of logs. I'll show it all to you, but this is where it's going to be, and then I can dig into that bank there a little bit, give me a spot to build a fire, which will help put some rocks in there, help radiate the heat out a little bit. So anyways, it's time to get busy. I'm going to record as much as I can of the process here, but I do really need to watch. I think I need to watch my battery power, so I'm not going to get extremely carried away. So I'm going to use this paracord pretty sparingly, but I got to cut a chunk of this to get my camera set up here for you. There we go. Gonna cut a chunk of this paracord to tie up my tripod. So I'm gonna use as little as I can to do this, but gotta make sure all these are cut at the same length and that they're not too long. Yeah, they actually look pretty good. You know, that could be a little bit long still. I'm gonna cut those about there. Alright, there we go. There's my beginning of my tripod. So again, I don't want to cut too much of this, but I need enough to tie this off, right? So that should be plenty. Maybe I should tie it first before I cut it. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tie a loop in this. This is, I think this is going to be long enough. We shall see. It'll be plenty long enough. Kind of hate having my gear laid out like that, but I gotta get things organized. biggest thing about today is to take my time. My wife, my lovely wife, said that to me before I left. She's like, whatever you do, take your time. You don't have to do everything in one day, she said. Right, Bren? Don't have to do everything in one day. Certainly not out here. Tell you one thing that sucks about getting older, when you lose your eyesight. Man, I hate not being able to see properly. Anyways, there's our tripod. So, that should hold my other end here. I'm going to show you a little something with this paracord that well, I'm sure a lot of you do know, but there might be some that don't know. Okay, so this paracord has a sheathing, and if you pull that sheathing off, I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope I'm not wasting everybody's time, but whatever. Pull that sheathing off. Okay, now you have the sheathing, plus you have all of these finer pieces of paracord. There's about, I think there's 5, is it? 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay, and you got your sheathing, which is still cordage. So you've turned one piece of cordage into 7 pieces of cordage. So I'm going to tie this up onto the top of that tree. And try to figure out my height. Actually, before I do that, I get rid of these branches. looks all right. You know? I'd probably actually go a little lower on this tree here. Yeah. That'll do the trick. So now I'll tie that off. Try to tie that off fairly well though, because I don't want it to fall down on me in the middle of the night. It'd suck. That'll do her. Plus I'll have the, that's gonna work out perfect. I just found this chunk of wood because what I wanna do is I wanna dig this bank out a bit. Oh man, yeah, that's gonna work fantastic. I'm gonna build a fire in here. Build a fire right there in the bank so I can use that piece of wood as a shovel. I'll save that for later. Okay, I gotta cut a bunch of trees. Find a bunch of deadfalls or whatever, start building this lean-to, so I'm not going to bore you with all that. We'll shut the camera down for now.